Alright guys, today we're going to talk about how the Cincinnati Bengals are planning to use Myles Murphy in defensive schemes. Yesterday was the first day we actually had pads, so now we can actually see how good Myles Murphy is and a lot of these other defensive players for the Cincinnati Bengals. Keep in mind, before pads come on, you can see how good they are just based on the route running, or not the route running, sorry, getting past people, like we saw, Sam Hubbard absolutely destroy, Jackson Carmen. My brain is all over the place right now. But anyway, we can see stuff like that. But once pads come on, it really is hard hitting, slamming against each other, and showing how good they are. So for Myles Murphy, because I've been a lot of questions about him, here is the rundown. Myles Murphy entered the locker room after his first padded practice with more tasks on his to-do list for the day. Personally delivering Pro Bowl defensive end Trey Hendrickson a root beer float and unboxing a dozen of Amazon boxes filled with snacks for the defensive lineman room in front of his locker. Rookie dues, they say. You see these boxes? That's the 10th box that I bought, Murphy said following Tuesday's process. On a serious note, Murphy has been drinking from the proverbial fire hose since he arrived in Cincinnati. Expectations for the first round pick. And keep in mind also, just to reiterate, Travion Williams was carted off the field yesterday with an ankle injury. We don't have an update on what's going on with him yet. Defense coordinator Lou Anarumo and defensive line coach Marion Hobby has a vision for Murphy for a while now. Hobby hinted to Murphy during a pre-draft visit that the Bengals plan to move him all around the defensive line. Expectations will be high for Murphy, the Bengals' first-round pick this year. His primary role for the team will be an edge rusher, but his size and versatility allows Anarumo and Hobby to get creative with how they utilize him. Don't be surprised if you see Murphy lined up inside at the 3 technique during some portions of training camp. They looked at even before having me on the team personally, because that was one thing. Even during the 30 visit, okay, I don't know why I cannot read this for some reason. They looked at even before. I think he means they looked at that even before having me on the team personally, because that was one thing. Even during the 30 visit that Coach Hobby was talking about, if I were to come here, it would not only just, I'm not sure if they wrote this incorrectly or, this is weird. It would not only just outside, but 3 technique. Third down pass rush schemes where I will be moving inside. Okay, so what he's saying is he's not only going to be used in, on the outside, he's also going to be used on the 3 technique. So pretty much they gave him a rundown before they even drafted him. They said, hey, listen, you're very versatile. We think you can do many things. We're going to have you do everything pretty much. And makes perfect sense. Again, when you draft a guy this high and you expected him to go that high, it's not surprising that, you really want him to do everything. Edge versus interior line positions in Bengals defense. Through the first block of training camp, the Bengals have eased Murphy into things by having him solely focus on the edge. Murphy would be shocked if that remains the case over the next month. Murphy's 6'5", 276-pound frame is ideal for Coach Anarumo, dubbed as a mad scientist by Von Bell 2 years ago. Anarumo is known for the different pressure packages and looks he comes up with to keep opponents off balance. After one padded process, it's too early to make predictions, but it's clear the Bengals have plans to use Murphy in several ways, which means they plan to get him on the field early. The first 3 preseason games will be beneficial for Murphy because of the limitations in practice for players on the line of scrimmage. Getting to go full speed with pads on was important for Murphy, though. After a few months of working with and getting to know Hendrickson, Murphy believes that the way he plays is similar to him. From a build standpoint, he says he's more like Hubbard. with the addition of Murphy, the Bengals have more depth at the defensive line than they have had in a while. Cincinnati finished 29th in the NFL in sacks last season with 30. The Philadelphia Eagles led the league in this metric with 70. One of the next steps for Anaruno's defense is affecting the quarterback more, and Murphy can help with that. Murphy is still feeling out the Bengals' offensive line that he goes up against at practice. As he does that, he's leaning on Trey Hendrickson, known as arguably the most aggressive player on the roster. Hendrickson is keeping it simple, and it might just be what Murphy needs at this point. Just commit to my rushes. Don't second guess my rushes because of how I'm getting a different set from an offensive tackle, Murphy said. Don't change up anything, just commit to it. And we got some pictures here of Myles Murphy. Look at this. Look at this. My man's Clemson, absolutely Rookie of the Year material. Alright, so to finish that off, that was the rest of the article. So again, like I said, what we're seeing then, just to summarize everything, is that they're slowly working him into the defense, but they're going to be putting him in every single category possible. This is not one of those systems where they're just going to, slowly use him and not really give him much. No, he's getting everything in a cup of tea, pretty much. And that's exactly why we drafted him where we drafted him, right? We could have taken other players at that 28th overall pick. But the fact that he was available still, he was a top 5 pick projected, we knew we could use him in everything. And that's exactly what we need. So, starting off training camp before the pads, he was kind of like a butler, I would say. And now that the pads are on, he's going to be really homing in, as they said, on edge rushing at first. But they're going to probably slowly get him to master each single position. So, edge rusher, interior, and then the 3 technique. And over the next, couple weeks, obviously training camp, preseason, he's going to slowly get a really good feel for how to do all of these things to a very high level. Got to keep in mind, the NFL and college, completely different. The game speeds are nothing the same. This is why, for example, Ray Lewis actually made a good example, the Ravens linebacker. He said that, when you get these guys, the kids come out of college, they're, in college, they're dominating. They're the best of the best, right? They're running through offensive linemen, getting after quarterbacks, making plays. But when you get to the NFL, you're no longer playing with college kids. You're playing with grown men. So when you're a 22-year-old guy coming out of college and you're known as one of the most dominant pass rushers in the NFL in college, guess what? Now you're going against Trent Williams, who's 35 years old. He's been playing against the best of the best for 15 years. So when you try to go against him and you try to dominate him, he's going to throw your butt to the ground and say, no, this ain't college. You're not going against a scrub. You're going against a true, next level athlete. So, again, like I said, there's a transition that as a team, as a defense coordinator, you got to get the player up to, out to that level. Now, the good thing is, you have intangibles as the player who they already have the speed. They have the strength. They have the, acceleration / agility to get around people. You, as a coach, you just need to put that into NFL terms and get them up to game speed. And that's all really we're going to see is him trying out different things. But again, because he is so versatile, you can use him in every way possible. It's not just one thing. We're going to see him probably have more reps overall than most players on defense this year because of the fact he can do a little bit of everything. Anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, hit the like, comment down below. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.